Hi everybody, we're here with a litter update video. In this YouTube video today, we are going to tell you all about our precious metals litter. These are mini Australian Labradoodle puppies. They are 2 weeks old. We're going to tell you a little bit about what each of the puppies has been up to in this past week and a little bit about Mama JoJo. Hi, I'm Claire from Isle Doodles, and this litter of mini Australian Labradoodle puppies is a really small litter in terms of the fact we only have 2 puppies in the litter. Other than that, this is not a small litter. These puppies are growing by leaps and bounds. They've achieved all of their milestones early, and they continue to surprise us every day with how advanced they are. So you can see the puppies are here. At least I hope you can see the puppies. They're nursing away there as they do so often. And now in our other previous videos, we've discussed the fact that JoJo only has part of her milk bar open because she doesn't need all of her faucets available when she only has 2 puppies to feed. So we went through a little bit of a process in the beginning to make sure that JoJo didn't get mastitis and that she was able to shut those areas down and just have enough for the puppies. So that's worked out really well. Oh my goodness, Brown is having a little bit of a cough there. Come here, Brown. I think JoJo got her squished. So let's take a look at Brown Collar Girl and look what she's got to show you. 2 beautiful open eyes. So Brown Collar Girl is the first born in this litter. However, she was the one who opened her eyes second. So Peach Collar Girl opened her eyes up on Tuesday, and Brown Collar opened hers up on Wednesday. And you can see JoJo is still very attentive all the time. She's making sure her little feet are clean. She's actually trying to bite her nails. Now we ourselves look after her nails for JoJo so they are never sharp. That way there's no chance of them scratching JoJo's sensitive tummy area because JoJo wouldn't like that, and it also can lead to infection. But you can see JoJo's working away on her own, making sure that we've done things properly. JoJo's a very attentive mom, but at the same time, she's also full of interest in herself still. She has a great work-life balance, if you will. She never ever is shirking her duties as a mama Labradoodle. She always is looking after her puppies so well, but at the same time, she never hesitates to jump up, leap out, go outside, run around, chase the ball, and just live life as if she didn't have any puppies. She's an excellent physical shape, and it's really nice to see a happy, contented, and enthusiastic mama dog. Now right now you can see she's cleaning up the back end there of little Brown Collar Girl, and that's because they're still not eliminating on their own. That's going to start happening in the next week. And there she's giving her a little bit of an ear bath now. And you won't believe the weight gain for these puppies. These puppies are 2 weeks old. And normally by 2 weeks, we're thinking that, oh yeah, it's great if they have doubled and a little bit more than their birth weight. Well, Miss Brown Collar Girl weighed 238 grams when she was born, and she now weighs 990 grams. Holy smokes, that's a huge weight gain. And she's also walking around. Now she's not very stable on her feet yet, but she can walk up on all 4s. So terrific advancement for these little puppies. Really good at meeting all those important milestones and continuing to develop ahead of schedule. So I'll just put Brown Collared Girl back down there so Mom can do another bit of a cleanup. And then we'll get Peach Collar Girl. She's chomping down there, so she'll be a little bit annoyed at me, but you can see, look at this juicy puppy. Oh my goodness. Have you ever seen a puppy who has got such a big fat tummy? Oh my goodness me. Oh, and there we go. JoJo's got to do a little cleanup on aisle 3 here. So I'm just going to put her on my lap so JoJo can get to her more comfortably. Let her wash her ears out. JoJo just keeps them so spotless. And you can see how beautiful and shiny this gorgeous dark red caramel coat is. And when JoJo's finished, I'll pick her up again. Oh, there we go. Now you can see those beautiful eyes. Now you'll notice that the puppies have blue eyes. This is totally normal. Puppies are born with blue eyes. Their eyes will not stay blue. For these colors of puppies, their eyes are going to turn into a beautiful hazel shade. It is possible for a Labradoodle who is a red caramel to have green eyes, but it's very, very rare. And I wouldn't anticipate seeing any green eyes, but we see some very pretty hazel eyes. This little girl has a beautiful head, gorgeous ear set, nice high ears, really short little tiny ears. Those are some of the things on the Australian Labradoodle breed standard that we're looking for. And she's got a couple of little white bits there. Oh my goodness, she's all in a squirmy mood. So what I'm going to do is see if I can get her to settle down by turning her over. And no, that's just making her more mad. So we aren't going to do that. We're just going to talk to her for a second, even though she can't hear us. Nope, not going to settle down. So we'll put Miss Peach Collar back down. We never want to force them. If they're not in the mood to do something, then that's fine. We just leave them. She's obviously focused on eating. And I would say that's probably why, guess how much she weighs? She weighs 1.09 kilograms. She is over a kilogram at 2 weeks. These are mini Australian Labradoodles. JoJo herself only weighs about 18 pounds, so they're just chomping down, and obviously JoJo is in excellent health, giving them all sorts of wonderful nutrition. And if JoJo will turn her head around, I'm not sure if she will or if she won't, but you can see her, maybe Reynolds, and just give her a little squeak. There you go. She can see she has beautiful bright eyes. Her teeth are gleaming, her coat shining. She is such a happy dog. She's always got a smile on her face. JoJo has a lovely attitude and just is one of the nicest, most positive, upbeat dogs that we have. She also tends to make a little bit of a racket. When JoJo hears us doing something, if she feels she's missing out because she's here with the kids, oh my goodness, you can't believe the sounds she can make. She could probably make sure we knew she wanted to come out with us if we were at the next door neighbors. She is quite a vocal little girl about these things. But that's okay. She's really good at communicating. You can see now how she's resting here with her head on the pig rail. She's beautifully relaxed. She's very calm with her babies. And this is part of the reason as well why these babies are gaining so nicely, because they live in this beautiful, calm atmosphere. Now later this week, their ears may open. It may not be at next week's update. It may be after their 3 weeks and closer to 4 weeks. Every dog, every puppy is different. There's no magic on when their ears become unsealed. But when their ears open, all sorts of things change. When their eyes open, it's like they've had a second birth. And they can't see much of anything at this point. All they see is big, blurry shapes. So they can distinguish that blurry shape is my mom, that blurry shape is those other things that are humans. Of course, they don't have a word for it, those other creatures though. And that's about it. And they're still relying really heavily on their sense of scent. That's where they get all their information, is from their nose. And that holds true for dogs for their entire lives. Their noses tell them more than anything else. Even when their vision is fully developed, their acuity is not as good as ours is. Dogs can see better in the dark, but dogs cannot see as many colors as people can, and they don't see quite as clearly and as sharply as we do. And you'll see some dogs who can't see themselves in a mirror, for instance, or they can't see, quote unquote, the television, and other dogs can. Now that's not really related to vision. That is thought to be related to intelligence. Dogs who have a higher level of intelligence can recognize that there's a dog in the reflection. They don't know it's themselves because they have no idea what they look like. Dogs have no idea what they look like, but they know that it's a dog. And when they see a television and they like to watch sometimes sports or shows with other dogs and animals on it, they can recognize that those are creatures that are the same as them. And you'll even find if you have a Labradoodle and you go to a group of dogs, Labradoodles are able to figure out which dogs are Labradoodles, just like GSDs know that that's a GSD. And they'll tend to gravitate to their own group, which is a really interesting cultural thing that has really nothing to do with that, since dogs don't have all of those things in their makeup. People do, but it's a really interesting little factoid. So that's just a little bit of information on dogs and their vision. Here we got Peach has got her fill now. I don't think you could possibly put anything more in that tummy. Oh my goodness, that is so much food in the tummy. Yes. Are you going to give me a kiss? Even though she's full, she's going to see if my nose is going to produce anything of any interest. Yes, it's a good puppy. These puppies are very quiet. We do not hear a word from these puppies. The first day they were born, they were never ever stopped talking. They were very unhappy puppies the first day they were born because JoJo was not settling in and JoJo's milk hadn't all come in. So they were quite fussy potty puppies, telling JoJo and the world that they were hungry. And now we never ever hear that we are hungry because of course they're not. They are having no issue with food security or food shortage whatsoever. They have really food opulence really is what they have. They have an endless smorgasbord here with JoJo, and that's all coming from just 4 teats in the back here. That's the only 4 that they nurse off of. All the rest here have all completely shrunk up and are, you would not know if you looked from here to here, if you cut JoJo off here, you would have no idea she even had puppies. It's quite incredible. But that's nature's way, it's designed that way, and of course, as I said, we help that along a little bit. So that's pretty much what the puppies have been up to this week. If you look here, you can see on Brown Collar, her coat is starting to lift. That's what these little tufts of hair that are standing up are. They're starting to come away from her body. You can see on Peach Collar here, her coat is still fairly flat and smooth. And so is Brown Collar's in the back of her body. But right here, this little bit here on the side and around her neck is already starting to lift. Now, Papa Copper for this litter, he is a curly boy. And JoJo, she has her hair clipped quite short, but you can see even with it very short like this, you can see she has quite a good amount of wave in her coat. And she really does have a very loose curl. You can see all of that there. And Papa Copper is similar. So these puppies are going to have some curl in their coats. And usually we find when the curlier the coat, the earlier it tends to lift. Not always, but as a general rule, that seems to be what happens. So we'll see, and we'll continue to track this as the puppies develop. But my guess is probably Brown Collar might be going to have a few more curls than Peach Collar Girl has. So that's our litter update for this week. Next week, they may be able to hear. They'll certainly be moving around a lot more. Goodness knows what they're going to weigh. I would expect that this rather rapid weight gain is going to reduce quite a bit over the next week, and they're going to level off. Because these are mini Labradoodles. So just because their weight is higher than most mini Labradoodles are at this point in time does not mean that as adults they're going to be gigantic dogs. It just means that they have lots of advantage and lots of nourishment, and so their little bodies are growing so rapidly. When they get all of that nourishment, they're able to really go at a high pace. Now that's going to slow down because there's only so much that they can do. There is a limit to what their size is going to be regardless of how much nutrition they have. The other end of the scale is opposite. If they don't have enough, then they will have a stunted growth and they won't meet their maximum potential. But there is a cap. They won't turn into Great Danes or anything. So no need to worry. If you're one of the 2 people on this reservation list, you're not going to end up with a standard Labradoodle. They'll still be nice mini Labradoodles. They'll probably be a little bit bigger than JoJo, but not hugely different from JoJo herself. And JoJo's just a lovely size. She's a really nice sized Labradoodle. Big enough to do everything, but still small enough to fit comfortably on your lap. And even I can pick her up without any problem. So next week we'll probably see if they're hearing. We'll for sure see them moving around a little bit more, and it will probably be their last week that they're here in the maternity ward. We may even move them before we do our next litter update. Tippy, who is one of Ripple's daughters, is due on November the 10th, and she's coming this afternoon to get all ready to have her puppies. So if we'll probably move JoJo and her babies out so that Tippy is here on her own. This is Tippy's first litter, and we'd like to give our mama Labradoodles as much privacy and as much of a calm atmosphere as possible when they have their very first litter. And then we have Spirit due on November 21st. So by then, Tippy will have had her puppies for a good, almost 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks. And if we introduce Spirit into this side, and you can see we have a full divider here. Maybe Reynold can move the camera to show you in our whelping room here. It's completely solid, so the girls cannot see one another, and it's about 3 feet tall, I believe it is, so they can't see over top. Now, if Spirit wanted to stand up, she would be able to put her paws up here, but she still would not be able to look over and see in once Tippy is over there. So they're in the same room, and yes, they can hear one another. I'd love it if they couldn't, but we can't soundproof everything. But they can't see one another. So with the door closed in the front and all around, it gives them a really good feeling of security and calmness. And if a dog is ever particularly anxious about it all, then we can put a cover over top of the whelping box and just clip it on to make it even more den-like for them. So we'll have lots of litters coming up in November. By the end of November, we'll have 3 litters to talk about, which will be lots of fun. So lots of updates on YouTube. We hope you watch all of our videos. We try to tell you something a little bit different in every one, and hope that you find them enjoyable. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again next week. These are piggies. Little piggies, yes. Oh, JoJo, they're piggies. These are piggy puppies.